So I think let's just start this one. So where are we? Okay. So guys, let's look at this question paper, which is Integrated Science 2015, grade 9. So question number 1 is saying, which of the following is a natural sign of puberty that occurs only in boys? So they want us to identify a natural sign of puberty that only occurs in boys, not in girls. Okay, so we have A, growth of pubic hair, B, deepening of the voice, C, menstruation begins, and D, pimples appear on the face. So the one which occurs in boys only is deepening of the voice. So the answer is B. Question 2. The diagram below shows the side view of the male reproductive organs. So we have this diagram showing the male reproductive organs. Okay. So before we even look at the question, we can, for the sake of revision, we can identify these parts. So the first part is I, which is the scrotum. So this is the scrotum. Then G is the epididymis. Then F is the penis. And then E is the urethra. Okay. So we have the scrotum. Now for the sake of revision, guys, let's look at the function of the scrotum. So the scrotum has two major functions. One, it protects the testes. Two, it provides an optimum temperature for sperm production. So the scrotum has two major functions. Number one, it protects the testes. Number two, it provides an optimum temperature for sperm production. Then G is the epididymis. So the function of the epididymis is to store male sex cell or male gametes. That's the function of the epididymis, to store male gametes or male sex cells, which are sperms. Then F is the penis. So the function of the penis is to deposit sperms into the vagina. So the one which deposits sperms into the vagina during copulation or sexual intercourse is the penis. So the function of the penis, guys, is to deposit sperms into the vagina. Then E is the urethra. The urethra, the function is just the passage of urine from the urinary bladder until it comes out. Okay, so passage of urine as well as a semen. Okay, passage of urine as well as semen. So passage of both urine and semen. Now guys, let's look at the question. So the question is, what is the function of structure I? So structure I, we said, is the scrotum. Okay, structure I is the scrotum. So what is the function of the scrotum? A, producing sperms. No, the one which produces sperms is the testis. Then B, producing ova. The one which produces ova is a female part, which is called an ovary. Okay, so B is not our answer. Then D, storing male sex cells. So the one which stores male sex cells is the epididymis. Then protecting the testes, C. Protecting the testes, so the answer is C. The one which protects the testes is the scrotum. So the answer is C. What is the function of eye? Eye is the scrotum. So the function is protecting the testes. Okay. So let's look at question number 3. Okay. So question number 3. What is question number 3 saying? Okay, let me just put my camera properly. So question number 3 is saying a pregnant woman is 120 days pregnant and would like to find the approximate number of remaining days in an average gestation period. Calculate the number of remaining days for her before she delivers. Okay, so they want us to calculate the number of remaining days for a pregnant woman who is 120 days pregnant. So first we need to understand what gestation period is. What is gestation period, guys? So remember, we said gestation period is the time between conception and the birth. This is what we call gestation. Gestation is the period of time between conception and birth, or the period of time between fertilization and birth. Okay, so now we know what conception is. Conception is simply the act of getting pregnant. So from the time a woman gets pregnant to the time she gives birth, that period of time is what we call gestation period. Okay, so now this gestation period can be considered in terms of the months. So in terms of months, gestation is equal to 9 months. Then when you are considering days, gestation is equal to 280 days. That is if we are counting gestation in terms of the number of days from conception to birth, we consider 280. Okay, then in terms of weeks, so in terms of weeks, we consider 40 weeks. Okay, so if it is weeks, we consider 40 weeks. And then if it's days, we consider 280 days. And then if it's a month, we consider 90 months. Okay, so now, and this question is based on days. A pregnant woman was 120 days pregnant. So the question is seeking for us now to calculate the number of days remaining before she delivers. So since we have been given the gestation in days, we are going to say the remaining, you say 280 minus 120. So 0 minus 0 gets 0. Then 8 minus 2 you get 6. And then 2 minus 1 you get 1. So she's remaining with 160 days. 160 days. So the answer is B, 160 days. So guys, if you are told and if you are given the gestation in terms of months, you subtract from 9 months. In terms of weeks, you subtract from 40 weeks. In terms of days, you subtract from what? 280 days. So I'll give an example. If they say a pregnant woman, she's 6 months pregnant, how many months are remaining? You just say 9 minus 6, which is 3. Okay, if you ask to say a pregnant woman, she's let's say 20 weeks pregnant, how many weeks are remaining before she delivers? You just say 20 minus the weeks given. Okay, so 40 minus the weeks given. So 40 minus 20 to get 20. If you are given, let's say 10 weeks, you say 40 minus 10 weeks. Then the 30 is the number of weeks remaining. Okay, let's move on to the other question. Okay, let's look at this other question. Okay, so question number 4. Question number 4 is coming from a topic nutrition. Okay, so question number 4 is saying the table below shows symptoms and nutritional deficiency diseases. Okay, so guys, before even write your exams next week, Thursday, integrated science, ensure that you know deficiency diseases. Okay, so what is a nutritional deficiency disease? So guys, a nutritional deficiency disease is a disease which is caused by lack of certain nutrients. That is what we call a deficiency disease. A deficiency disease is a disease caused by lack of certain nutrients, okay, or certain nutrient. And examples of deficiency diseases, we have kwashiorkor, okay, we have marasmus, okay, we have rickets, okay, we have scurvy, we have anemia, we have goiter. All these are deficiency diseases. Now you're supposed to know how these are brought about, the causes of these. So kwashiorkor is caused by lack of proteins. Lack of proteins. Then marasmus is caused by lack of carbohydrates. Lack of carbohydrates. Okay, lack of carbohydrates causes marasmus. Then rickets is caused by lack of vitamin D. Vitamin D, or sometimes calcium, because vitamin D and calcium, they help in formation of strong bones. Then scurvy is caused by lack of vitamin C. And then anemia is caused by lack of irons. Then goiter is caused by lack of iodine. Okay, so I was just making a recap on what we did on nutrition under nutritional deficiency diseases. Now let's look at this question. So we have this table which has 2 columns. The first column is showing the symptom, and then the other one is showing deficiency diseases. Okay, so they want us to identify a symptom to its corresponding deficiency disease. Okay, so the correct answer in this case is what else? What is this? What do we have? I think the answer is D. Unhealthy bones and teeth, which is scurvy. So we have D. Okay, question number 5. Question number 5 is saying, study the food nutritive substances below. Okay, then the question is, which of the following best describes, okay, carbohydrates and proteins? So a combination of carbohydrates and proteins. So dietary sources of carbohydrates as well as what proteins. So let's check carbohydrates and proteins. Carbohydrates and proteins. So let's look at bread. Bread is a source of carbohydrates. Then rice is also a source of carbohydrates. Potatoes, carbohydrates. Then mini meal, also carbohydrates. So like one consists of carbohydrates. All these are carbohydrates. Okay, sources. Okay, so one carbohydrate sources. Then let's look at 3. Beef proteins, chicken proteins, beans proteins, and liver proteins. So the answer is A. Carbohydrates 1, proteins 3. So the answer is A, guys. Okay, let's look at question number 6. So question number 6 is saying, which of the following statements best describes pollution? So meaning, what is pollution? So we know pollution is the addition of harmful substances to the environment. So the answer is D in this case. Pollution is the addition of harmful substances to the environment. So the answer is D. Okay. Let's move on to question number 7. Okay. A question also on pollution. So question number 7 is saying, which of the following is not a common type of pollution in rural areas of Zambia? So A, water pollution. B, soil pollution. C, noise pollution. And D, land pollution. So the one which is not common in rural areas is noise pollution. The answer is noise pollution. Noise pollution is usually common in urban areas, not rural areas, because in urban areas we have a lot of industries, a lot of vehicles, a lot of machines and others. So those they cause noise pollution. But you realize in rural areas, noise pollution is not that common. Okay, so let's look at question number 8. So question number 8. Okay, so question number 8 is saying, the diagram below shows a microscope. Which part is adjusted to obtain a clear image? Okay, so the part which is adjusted to obtain a clear image in this case is the fine adjustment. This one, or this one, the coarse adjustment. Is it coarse or fine? The coarse adjustment. Okay, or we can say the adjusting knob. Very important. Now, for the sake of revision, we can also look at the parts of this microscope. So one is the eyepiece. Then this one is the body tube. We also have the objective lens. Then we have the stage. Then we have the mirror. You also have the base. This is the base. Then we have the arm. We have the arm. Okay, then we have the course. Adjustment. Then if we take a smaller one, is what we call now the fine adjustment. Okay, so now this question was just saying which part is adjusted to obtain a clear image. So the answer is 2. So the answer is B. Okay, let's move on. Question 9. Let's look at question number 9. Question number 9. Okay, question number 9. Study the diagram below. So I have this diagram where a plant is immersed in water with blue ink. Okay. Then the question is saying the cells which were colored blue are called dash. Okay. So it's like this plant was immersed in water with blue ink. Then it's like the stem was cut. Okay, the close section of the stem was cut. So it's like we had something like this. Okay, and you have the roots like this. You have the roots. Then you have these cells. Okay. So this is what they are talking about. Okay. Now it was observed that after cutting these, some cells appeared blue. Some cells appeared blue. So these cells, we have 2 cells here. We have the xylem as well as the phloem. Okay, the xylem and the phloem. So now between these 2 cells, which cells were colored blue? Okay, so for us to answer this question, what we're supposed to know is the function of each of these. So the xylem, the function of the xylem, this one transports water and the mineral salts. That's the function of the xylem. It is the one which transports water and mineral salts. Then the phloem transports manufactured food. Phloem transports manufactured food. Okay, from the leaf to all parts of a plant. Okay, so now the cells which are going to be colored, or the cells which were colored blue, are the xylem cells, because the xylems are the ones which transport water. Now the water is mixed with the blue ink. So the cells which transport the water are the cells which are going to be colored blue. So the answer, guys, in this case is A, which is xylem. Okay, let's look at the other question, which is question number 9. Question number 9. Okay, so let's look at question number 9. Question, is it number 10? Question number 10, sorry. Question number 10. Okay, I hope you guys are able to see. So, question number 10 is saying, which of the following is not a way of reducing negative effects of inorganic fertilizers in a mains field? So A, using compost manure. B, keeping the soil aerated. C, adding agricultural lime to the soil. D, rotating the crop with the rice crop. So the answer in this case is D. Okay. The answer is what? D. Okay. Question number 11. Which of the following shows the correct structure and the comparison between plant and animal cell? Okay. So we have structure, plant cell, and we also have what? Animal cell. Okay. So maybe for the sake of our revision, guys, let me just come up with a structure of a plant cell and an animal cell. So let's say this is a plant cell. You have a plant cell. Okay, you have chloroplasts. So it's a plant cell. Now the nucleus. Then you also let's say have an animal cell. Okay, have an animal cell. So if this is our plant cell, this is the cell wall. Okay, then this is the cell membrane. Cell membrane. We have the cell membrane. Then we have the chloroplast. Okay, then we have the vacuole. This is the vacuole. Then you have the nucleus, and we also have cytoplasm. Okay, so this is a plant cell. This is a plant cell. This one is a plant cell. Then we also have an animal cell here. Okay, so this is animal cell. This is an animal cell. So an animal cell, we have the cell membrane. Then we have the nucleus. And then we have cytoplasm. Okay, so you realize a plant cell, in terms of the differences, you can see a plant cell has a cell wall, an animal cell has no cell wall. A plant cell has a vacuole, an animal cell has no vacuole. A plant cell has chloroplast, an animal cell has no chloroplast. Okay, so now let's look at the question. Guys. Okay, so the question is, which of the following shows the correct structure and the comparison between a plant and the animal cells? So let's look at A. Structure, cytoplasm, plant cell present, animal cell absent. This answer is wrong because both a plant cell and animal cell have cytoplasm. So A is not our answer. Let's look at cell membrane. Plant cell absent, animal cell present. No, this is not an answer. So A is not our answer and B is not our answer. Both plant cells and animal cell consist of cell membrane. Let's look at C, cell wall. Remember, an animal cell has no cell wall. Okay, so cell wall, plant cell present, animal cell absent. So this is correct. Then D, let's look at D. D, chloroplast. Plant cell absent, animal cell present. This one's supposed to be opposite. A plant cell has chloroplast and animal cell has no chloroplast. Okay, so our correct answer, guys, is C. Take note. Okay, let's move on to question number 12. So question number 12 is saying the diagram below shows a model of a molecule. We know what a molecule is. A molecule is a combination of two or more atoms. That is a molecule, a combination of two or more atoms. That is what we call a molecule. Okay, so now the molecule is of dash. So we have this molecule. Now this molecule has two atoms of hydrogen and a single atom of oxygen, meaning this molecule is H2O. It has three atoms in total, two atoms of hydrogen and a single atom of oxygen. So this molecule is water. This is water. Water has two atoms of hydrogen and a single atom of oxygen. So this is HH representing hydrogen, and this O represents oxygen. Okay. Let's look at question number what? Number 13. Which of the following is not true about freezing point of water? So the freezing point of water is also its melting point. This is correct. Then the freezing point of water is when water loses it and changes into what? Sorry, this is also correct. Then the freezing point of water is 0 degrees under normal condition. This is also correct. Okay. Then the freezing point of water, let's look at C. The freezing point of water is also its boiling point. No, this is not correct. This is wrong. Okay, because we know water, we're supposed to understand this, guys. In fact, let me just come up with this diagram, a small diagram. Let's say of something like this. Okay, of something like this. Okay, this is 100 degrees Celsius. So you have 0 degrees Celsius. So this is, let's say, point X and point Y. This is Y. So this one, it's the boiling point. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Then water, this 0 degrees Celsius is the melting point as well as the freezing point. So water melts at 0 degrees Celsius. It also freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Then water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So the answer in this case is C. Okay, take note, guys. Okay, now where is question number 14? Okay, Question number 14. Where is question number 14? Just a minute, guys.